LVMH just fired the first shot of the watch year, and these releases aren't random. From Louis Vuitton's $80,000 platinum world timer that signals a total strategy shift, to TAG Heuer slipping in a chronograph movement upgrade the blogs are ignoring, and the one design trend guaranteed to split collectors down the middle. This is where 2026 gets decided. Let's break down what matters fast. Louis Vuitton did not just add new models. They dropped 5 S-scale references engineered to silence anyone calling them a fashion brand with a watch sideline. This is a credibility play, not a seasonal capsule. The headline act is the S-scale world time in platinum, powered by the in-house caliber LFT-VO 12.01. It has a 62-hour power reserve, jumping hours and minutes, and a world timer complication that covers 24 time zones with day and night indication. The platinum case measures 40 millimeters across and just over 10 millimeters thick, with an open caseback that shows the micro rotor and the monogram flower barrel. World time is doing the heavy lifting here. The dial is not just stamped with logos. Each one takes a week to finish, with 24 hand-painted city flags in 35 colors, baked in successive firings. This is not outsourced dial art. It is a flex from La Fabrique du Temps, the Geneva manufacturer LVMH acquired in 2011 to make moves like this possible. The 80,000 Swiss franc price tag is not about hype. It is about proving they can deliver on traditional craft. Allocation is boutique only, and production numbers are not public, so anyone expecting mass market volumes will be disappointed. Collectors get more than just the world timer. The Escale World Time Tourbillon adds a central flying tourbillon powered by caliber LFT-VO 05.01, also with a 62-hour reserve. There is also the Twin Zone, with a dual time zone function that lets you jump the minute hand in 15-minute increments, a nod to real-world travel rather than theoretical complications. The Tiger's Eye Limited Edition brings a rose gold case and COSC certified chronometer status, while the Minute Repeater introduces a jump hour and retrograde minute display on a hand galoche dial. But here is what nobody is noticing. The combination of artisanal dials, open caseback finishing, and tight boutique allocation is the real signal. The detail collectors will repeat is simple. Every S-scale dial is hand-painted, and each open caseback is a window into finishing you would expect from the top of Swiss watchmaking. This is the year Louis Vuitton stops asking for watchmaking respect and starts demanding it. For collectors, this is smart. Mechanical proof, not marketing narrative, and a real shot at scarcity-driven value. For flex buyers, the price and allocation say it all. This is for the serious crowd now. TAG Heuer didn't show up to Watch Week just to fill a slot. They are making a play for the chronograph lane, and they brought the specs to back it up. The Carrera chronograph glassbox 41mm costs £6,700, and the story here is not just the motorsport DNA, it is the movement. The TH2001 is an automatic chronograph engineered in-house with an 80-hour power reserve, a column wheel, and a vertical clutch. That is the kind of architecture you usually brag about in higher price bands, not at this level. The column wheel gives a smoother pusher feel and more precise engagement, while the vertical clutch removes the stutter you get when starting the chronograph. These are details that collectors notice, and flex buyers might not even understand. This is real technical credibility. The dial keeps things clean, no date window, no clutter, just pure timing focus. The case channels the Carrera racing heritage, but the movement is the real headline. When collectors debate in the comments, this is the tell. The TH2001 is not a cam-actuated module or a rebranded third-party engine. It is a proper column wheel chronograph built for serious use, not just for looks. The 80-hour reserve means you can leave it off the wrist for days and still have power to spare. TAG also dropped a split-seconds Rattrapante prototype in grade 5 titanium, developed with voucher manufacturer Fleurier. That is a move most brands save for their high horology lines. The split seconds hand is highlighted in red with a pusher at 9 o'clock. Proof TAG wants to be taken seriously by movement nerds, not just by the motorsport crowd. Who is buying? Performance-driven collectors who want real timing tech, plus flex buyers who want a recognizable chronograph with actual substance. Verdict: smart. TAG is betting that technical proof will matter more than brand nostalgia. With this movement, they are not wrong. Quick poll in the comments. Which release actually matters? Louis Vuitton, TAG, Hublot, Zenith, Bulgari? Or are the high horology picks the only ones worth following? LVMH just fired the first shot of the watch year, and these releases are not random. You will learn the one release that signals a strategy shift, the technical flex people are quietly underplaying, and the design trend that will divide collectors. But here is what nobody is noticing. Let's break down what matters, fast. LVMH. Watch Week is the major annual reveal moment for LVMH watch brands. It matters because it previews design direction, complications, and brand strategy for the year. Think of it as the roadmap for what luxury watch buyers and collectors will chase. Top drops that actually matter. Louis Vuitton. What launched? A platinum world timer with a hand-painted dial. A travel-friendly world timer that reads multiple time zones and looks like miniature fine art. Why it matters? Louis Vuitton is signaling it wants serious watch credibility beyond fashion. The tell, the hand-painted dial paired with a platinum case, that detail will be in every comment thread. Who it's for? Collectors who want craft plus flex buyers who want a head-turning travel piece. Quick verdict: smart. TAG Heuer. What launched? An 80-hour column wheel chronograph built for endurance and precision. Why it matters? TAG Heuer is staking a claim in the serious chronograph lane, leaning into motorsport DNA. The tell, the long power reserve combined with a column wheel movement. Repeat that in the comments. Who it's for? Motorsport purists and buyers who want a technical chronograph on the wrist every day. Quick verdict: brilliant. Hublot. What launched? Another series of Big Bang cases made from a collision of materials, surface textures that force a reaction. Why it matters? Hublot is choosing polarizing design as strategy, trading universal approval for cultural heat. The tell, aggressively textured case materials and contrast finishes that spark debate. Who it's for? Culture-first buyers and people who want controversy with their flex. Quick verdict: risky. Zenith. What launched? High-beat skeletons and refreshed heritage chronographs that nod to the brand's timing history while feeling modern. Why it matters? Zenith is building a recognizable design identity while feeding collector nostalgia. The tell, visible high-beat movements and open-worked dials you can name in a thread. Who it's for? Collectors who value movement DNA and daily wearers who want something distinct. Quick verdict: brilliant. Bulgari. What launched? Watches that fuse Roman coin motifs with jewelry-level craftsmanship, more culture object than simple tool. Why it matters? Bulgari is doubling down on the jewelry lane, where watches are status artifacts as much as instruments. The tell, Roman coin detailing and high-polished jewelry finishing, mention that and people will notice. Who it's for? Buyers after jewelry energy and collectors who prize cultural statement pieces. Quick verdict: smart. Daniel Roth and Gerald Genta. What launched? Quiet high horology pieces aimed at the deep collector, complicated movements, and artisanal finishing. Why it matters? These are credibility plays for buyers who know what they are buying and want movement artistry over hype. The tell, classical complications and finishing cues that only enthusiasts will call out. Who it's for? The watch nerd collectors who buy for craft and legacy. Quick verdict: brilliant. Quick poll: what is the real winner? Louis Vuitton, TAG Heuer, Hublot, Zenith, Bulgari, or the high horology picks? Big takeaways. Complications are back, brands are flexing. Mechanics again. Polarizing design is intentional. Controversy is a marketing tool. Luxury is splitting into two lanes: performance and tool energy versus culture object and jewelry energy. If you want to follow up on pricing, availability, and which of these will hold value, comment part 2. Hublot didn't come to LVMH Watch Week to win over the purists. They came to provoke. The Big Bang Unico Core Collection lands in 4 case executions: titanium, black magic ceramic, titanium ceramic hybrid, and king gold ceramic fusion. No one else in the LVMH stable is mixing materials this aggressively, and that's the point. Hublot's design team isn't chasing heritage. They're building watches that demand attention, even if half the comments section wants to throw them in the nearest river. The Black Magic model is all about deep matte ceramic, scratch-proof, stealthy, and unapologetically modern. King Gold ceramic fuses Hublot's proprietary rose gold alloy with high-tech black ceramic. The result is a case that looks engineered in a lab for maximum contrast and minimum subtlety. If you want a classic round case, look elsewhere. These are sharp-edged, industrial, and instantly recognizable from across the room. The tell is Hublot's multi-material sandwich construction. It's not just for show. The contrasting layers are a deliberate move to spark debate on wrists, on forums, and anywhere collectors gather. Then there is the Novak Djokovic Big Bang Tourbillon, a tribute to the tennis goat that is less about movement architecture and more about cultural heat. Details are limited, but the message is clear. Hublot is leveraging celebrity as a flex. The Djokovic edition is not about blending in. It is about starting arguments over who deserves a tribute, what a tourbillon should look like, and whether this is even watchmaking or just marketing with a balance wheel. For Hublot, that is the business model. Collectors who crave tradition are already out. For culture-adjacent buyers and flex seekers, these watches are conversation starters, not quiet investments. On the secondary market, expect volatility. Some will pay a premium for the controversy, others will run the other way. But that is exactly how Hublot wants it. The verdict, risky, and they know it. In 2026, polarization is not a flaw, it is a feature. Hublot is betting that being loved and hated is better than being ignored. Zenith's DeFi Skyline lineup lands with a clear agenda: prove that a heritage movement can look like the future, not just the past. The DeFi Skyline skeleton in black ceramic is the headline grabber, open-worked, angular, and powered by the El Primero 3620 SK. This is not just a visual stunt. The movement beats at 5 Hz, delivering that signature 1/10 of a second display at 6 o'clock, a feature that is pure El Primero DNA, but dialed up for 2026. The case geometry is all sharp lines and an integrated bracelet, a callback to DeFi shapes from the 1970s, but the execution is modern, matte black ceramic with gold accents, skeletonized bridges that reveal the gear train in motion. The price lands at £16,400, right in the sweet spot for collectors looking for technical proof and design edge. The real collector flex is the rose gold skeleton, limited to 50 pieces. Every surface is open, every angle exposes the architecture. No dial to hide behind, just the movement visible from every side. The finishing is not just for show, it is the kind of work that rewards a loop, not just a passing glance. For those tracking specs, the DeFi Skyline chronograph in black ceramic brings the El Primero 3600, with a chronograph hand that does a full lap in 10 seconds, another mechanical flourish that is as much about performance as it is about standing out in comment threads. Zenith is not chasing controversy or jewelry status. The story is visible, mechanics and architectural design, with the El Primero as the anchor. The 5 Hz rate is not just a number, it is a blur you can actually see, a reminder that this is a movement with real heritage, not a recycled module. The tell collectors will repeat the 1/10 of a second indicator at 6 o'clock, and the fact that the skeletonized rose gold is capped at 50 pieces worldwide. That is the kind of detail that holds up in forum debate. Who is this for? Collectors who want to wear a piece of mechanical history but demand it look like it belongs in 2026, not 1976. Performance buyers who want proof on the wrist, not just a story in the catalog. Quick verdict: smart. Heritage, but with teeth. The Defy skyline is not nostalgia, it is a blueprint for modern mechanical credibility. Bulgari did not just show up with watches. They brought artifacts that blur the line between high jewelry and mechanical craft. The Moglia Milanese Monette leads the charge. It is a secret watch built around an authentic ancient Roman coin, framed by an octagonal rose gold case and a supple mesh bracelet that nods to Renaissance goldsmithing. Under the hinged coin cover is a white mother-of-pearl dial, ringed with a dozen diamond hour markers. The gem total is modest, just half a carat of diamonds, but the cultural weight is heavy. At the core, Bulgari's Piccolissimo BVP 100 manual movement keeps things running, packing hours and minutes into a case that is as much Roman relic as wristwatch. The Tubogas manchette goes even further. It turns a single wrap yellow gold cuff into a canvas for nearly 12 carats of diamonds and a constellation of colored stones, citrines, rubellites, peridots, amethysts, topazes, spessartites. The square pave dial is powered by the Lady Solo Tempo BVS 100, a self-winding movement 3.9 mm thick, offering a 50-hour reserve. The design pulls from Bulgari's 1970s archives, but the execution is pure 2026, bold, architectural, and unapologetically Roman. The tell collectors will repeat is this: these are not tool watches. They are wearable culture, with genuine ancient coins and gem totals you would expect in a high jewelry collection. For buyers who want a statement piece that lands somewhere between a history lesson and the red carpet, Bulgari is the smart play. This is the jewelry mechanics lane, and it is only getting more crowded. Daniel Roth and Gerald Genta sit at the far end of the LVMH spectrum. No celebrity tie-ins, no jewelry theatrics, just pure watchmaking for those who know what to look for. This year, their ateliers delivered pieces that speak in the quiet language of high horology. Think tourbillons, retrograde displays, and movements finished with Geneva anglage so crisp it could only have come from a bench where the loop never leaves the eye. The bridges are frosted, the peripheral rotors polished to a mirror, and every bevel is sharp enough to catch the light at any angle. These aren't watches built for Instagram. They are built for the collector who wants auction-grade rarity and movement architecture that rewards study, not just a glance. Production numbers stay out of the press release. These are low volume, almost private, with allocation handled directly through LVMH top collector channels. The real tell is in the finishing. Look for the hand-finished anglage, the frosted surface on the bridges, and the rotor that seems to float around the movement's edge. For the serious collector, these details are the proof. This is the kind of watch you buy when you want to signal knowledge, not just wealth. The verdict is brilliant, but only if you speak the language of haute horlogerie. For everyone else, these might as well be invisible. 3 signals stand out from the releases this year, each one a challenge to the old rules of collecting. First, complications are back, and not just for show. Brands are pouring resources into in-house movements, tourbillons, world timers, and chronograph architecture that demand a second look. It is not about minimalist dials or quartz convenience anymore. Mechanical proof is the new table stakes. If you cannot talk power reserve, movement architecture, or finishing, you are not in the conversation. Second, polarizing design is no accident. Hublot material mashups, aggressive geometry, and culture bait collaborations are meant to split the room. The days of safe, universally approved luxury are over. Now brands want heat, debate in the comments, love it or hate it reactions, and watches that get noticed for all the right and wrong reasons. Controversy is not a bug, it is the business model. Third, luxury is splitting. On one side is performance and tool energy, chronographs, high beat movements, and skeletonized architecture. On the other side is culture object and jewelry energy, Roman coins, gem set cases, and finishing that is as much about art as it is about timekeeping. The collector of 2026 has to pick a lane or build a portfolio that straddles both. But here is what nobody is noticing. The brands that combine serious mechanics with cultural hooks are the ones to watch. If you want the real breakdown, pricing, allocation, and which models will actually hold value, drop part 2 in the comments. The debate starts now. Right now, luxury watches are less about telling time and more about staking a claim on identity, on taste, on culture. As brands double down on polarizing design and mechanical bravado, the line between status signal and cultural artifact blurs. The next icon will not just be worn, it will be debated. But here's what nobody is noticing. The real question: will you shape the conversation, or will you just watch it happen? Drop your take below.